problem. Rina, you can restart your presentation, no problem. Yes, Rina, you can go ahead. I think you can start the first slide. Rina, your audio is off.
Okay, just let me know if you can see full screen.
No, it's not full screen. F5.
Yeah.
You can, yeah. Okay, 1 second. Just hold on. 1 second. There are people who are joining. I will let you know when to start, Rina. Just 1 second.
Okay.
There are people joining. Okay, dear participants, there was a slight technical error because we had we could not see, we could not accept you because your you wanted to join the meeting was not visible on our screen. So that was a little technical error. So we have Mrs. Rina Castellino, senior business analyst in an oil company, Doha, Qatar. I invite Rina to start her presentation. Others will join. We have around 52 people who have joined, right? So over to you, Rina. You can go ahead.
Okay. So sorry that you all couldn't see the screen before. We were talking about the importance of collaboration in workplace. So here I would like to share a personal experience where we had a project manager who was trying to come up with a project plan in order to achieve the end result. He started by sending emails around to people of different teams to help him in his project. He sent the email, some replied, some didn't reply. Then one fine day, he called everybody to a room. He put up his ideas on the wall, on post-its, and on some papers. And then he started to brainstorm. One spoke. When one spoke with one idea, another contributed. So this way, all of them contributed and gave their ideas. So everybody looked at the end result. Nobody really took the trouble at that time to think, okay, this is not possible. Everybody was very positive. So they looked at the end result and then they said, okay, in order to achieve that, what do I need to do? Now, this is collaboration. What does collaboration bring to the table? As I told you before, brainstorming. Collaboration allows team members to come together on a common platform and work towards the achievement of a common goal by thinking, brainstorming, and offering various perspectives to provide solution. It's always said, two brains are better than one. When two people get together, or more than two people get together, you can brainstorm wonderful ideas, providing value. Working towards the same goal inspires the team members with a strong sense of purpose. The team sees value in working together as a common goal, gives them a meaningful reason to work together, along with receiving mutual benefits for the company as well as team. Equal partaking. In collaboration, every team member is given equal opportunities to participate and communicate their ideas. So you see the power of collaboration, what collaboration can bring to the table. Let's see, why do we need to encourage collaboration among teams? I think you can see some pictures on my presentation to the right. They speak a lot for themselves. But let's also see, why do we need to encourage? It promotes self-analysis. Collaboration challenges people to think, articulate, and receive clarity about their competencies. It serves as a mirror that gives them a glimpse of their strengths and weaknesses. As I said, two heads are better than one. Teams work together and plug each other's gaps. It results in problem solving. When a variety of knowledge and skills are pooled, it creates a talent pool that is vast and more competent, able, and experienced. Virtual collaboration minimizes or even eliminates the need for finances and infrastructure. And this is what is happening with the current COVID situation all around the world. Thanks to internet, business can gain better market research, and organizations with people from diverse backgrounds can thrive. It makes you look at the big picture. No two people are the same. When you have several people with different backgrounds working for you, you will need to know how to leverage those differences and identify how they can complement each other. You also need to understand that if the project does not shape up the way you want it to be to the end, the partnership could still achieve a great deal. Collaboration teaches us. When your teams are collaborating, they're essentially learning new things from each other. Your organization becomes a body which encourages a culture of continuous learning and support. That learning through opportunities for growth and development, as well as through safety nets for failures. Whenever team members collaborate, they enhance their capacity to go and grow beyond their comfort zones and take your business to new heights. Yes, I'm talking about the corporate world to y'all, but at the same time, when you're listening to me, I also request y'all to think how y'all can collaborate at your workplaces. You being lecturers, shaping and preparing the younger generation to face the world in the corporate world. I'm sure you also need a lot of collaboration at your workplace. So try to associate what I'm saying with your workplace. I'm sure you will be able to understand better what I'm saying. What are the advantages of collaboration? Pooling of talents and strength. When members of a team collaborate, they're able to utilize the knowledge, experience, and skills involved. For instance, one member may struggle with presentation skills, but might know all the technical aspects involved. Effective collaboration will allow all the members to share their talent and find the most optimal solution to every problem. Development of employee skills. Collaboration is mutually beneficial for the employees as well as the organization because when they work together, interact, and share ideas, they see and understand how others work, think, negotiate, and operate. This gives all the employees a chance to pick up their skills from their colleagues or teammates and build upon their strength. These newly learned skills can then be practiced in their own field to look at things with a new perspective and make improvements and enhancements. Speed up solutions. Collaboration speeds things up. It fast tracks progress. A problem that may take months to resolve when handled by a single individual may just take a few hours if it is to have several others employ their unique standpoints and expertise to get things done. When all these go hand in hand, it would increase the efficiency. Your organization would be an efficient organization because you've already encouraged collaboration. People have come together, they've started to think how to achieve the end result. Here, they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about how I can make my company a success. Having spoken about all these advantages, importance, all the good side, we all know there is also a darker side to everything. Collaboration can do fail. So why do we think or why can collaboration fail? You know, today it's a very competitive world. There is fight for everything, for resources, for praise, position. So here, if people start to think only about themselves, then collaboration can fail. Collaboration, true, is a success from all working together, but remember, it needs a leader at all times. If there is lack of direction allowing people to fight it out, then you can have problems. People also need to know how to collaborate. So there are certain mechanics and mechanisms as to how you can collaborate. So if people do not have this knowledge, then it can fail. Communication is the strength. Communication is required at all times in an organization while collaborating. Ego. When working in an organization, especially where it's a bigger organization, you have this individual ego clashes. So these individual ego clashes can fail collaboration. Overwork, and if people are not engaged. Remember, collaboration works very well when there is a project to be achieved. But if you do not engage the people throughout the project, then it can fail. You also need to make people accountable for what they have agreed. It's not just coming together, okay, agreeing and going. No, you also have to take the responsibility and be accountable. If there is lack of accountability, it can fail. Then we do have some people who might start thinking, oh, why should I do it? Someone else will get it done. The bystander paradigm. If this is there, then again, there is chances for failure. Of course, a strong organization with a good leader, with people with good mindset, can fight all these factors which lead to the failure, and they can come out successfully. So the key message here is both attitude and behavior matter equally in a collaborative relationship. Now, Let's see if cooperation and collaboration are the same. They sound so similar, and in a normal person's understanding, they could be the same. But remember, there are some differences between collaboration and cooperation. Cooperation is something that individually you extend your hand to help out. But collaboration is different, where you together look at the bigger picture, look at the bigger problem, and work together to achieve the end result. Here I present to you all a case study, which you can read along with me and then take some time to think for yourself. A large insurance company developed a new suite of products to meet unique customer needs. But as the products were rolled out, it became clear that the product development and marketing teams had not worked closely enough with the IT and customer service teams that were supposed to support these products. These teams knew about the general product development strategy, but they were not included in the detailed planning and rollout decision. So they were left scrambling to catch up by the time products were launched. As a result, customers experienced delays and errors in processing. The call centers were unprepared for questions, and overall, end-to-end cost of new products ended up being much higher than planned. So you see here what happened. A company was developing a new range of products. But what is the mistake that it did? The teams knew about the general product development strategy, but they were not included in the detailed planning and rollout decisions. So here, people were left out. Whenever we have to achieve something, we have to make a study of who are the people who are involved. For example, this particular insurance company has a lot of departments. So there needs to be an equal representation from all the departments. All the departments have to be involved. Let's look at another case study. A global manufacturing firm wanted to customize a product component for one of its major customers. Doing so required extensive design configuration, changes to electronics, cooling, power, weight, pricing, and product delivery. Although every function agreed to take on the changes that affected them, they all worked on them independently and with different time frames. What each function didn't realize was that their changes triggered adjustments for other departments. And this led to a continual cycle of design changes. As a consequence, the product manager was unable to finalize an integrated design, and he still couldn't give his customers a firm quote or delivery schedule 18 months later. So I think the problem is quite visible in this case. They didn't realize that their changes triggered adjustments for other departments. So people from all departments are very important, which means whenever you have to collaborate, remember, everybody is important. You cannot say, okay, this is something that I have to do. Okay, maybe you are responsible to get it done, but you would need the support. You would need others to chip in their ideas as well. So the key lesson, as we discussed, is we need collaboration. Let's now look at some of the key takeaways. As I said before, don't confuse cooperative behavior with collaboration. Cooperation is different. It is required. I'm not saying no, but it's not the same meaning as collaboration. Every time you have a project and you have to collaborate, you need a detailed project plan. Work out the end-to-ends required from all parties. You cannot say tomorrow, okay, I wanted your help also, and the person does not know, as we saw in the case studies. Always have a memorandum of collaboration. So there needs to be a memorandum of understanding among the team. Get everyone to the room. This is very, very important. This is where you will work out your plans, you will make adjustment, and you will find ways to share resources and align incentives. Now, most of the companies are working virtually, but thanks to the internet, we have a lot of other tools. For example, in my workplace, we are still collaborating. It's been 3 months that we are working from home for the current situation, but we are still collaborating. We are having regular, whenever there is something that has to be done, a task, okay? It is like a project here. Then we are having regular meetings. We have a lot of tools which the company has given us where we can talk to each other, we can communicate. Getting everyone to the room means virtually or when you are present in your office building physically. Always remember, give collaborative teams a holistic view of the project and its impact of the bigger picture with a common goal. Okay, you have various departments. It shouldn't be that you are taking ideas and giving feedback only applicable to them. No, you need to tell them how it is going to impact everybody. Say you have, for example, 10 departments. You need to tell how the 10 departments are going to impact with this particular project. Mutual understanding is critical. So teams understand about the others' lives on a day-to-day basis. As I said, people need to give up their ego. They need to start thinking. At the same time, they need to start listening. What happens in a collaborative environment, you talk, you are given an opportunity to speak. Yes, you speak up. You say what is in your mind. But at the same time, you also have to listen to another person. What is he trying to say? Maybe he's building up on the idea that you have already given. So you need to have a common language between collaborating departments, which will minimize miscommunication. Get involved in each other's processes to ensure alignment. Don't let teams work on their own until the delivery day. You cannot say like one team as a team, in my team, I'm working well, fine. Just try to understand what is happening in another team. Communicate as often as possible. As I told you, communication is the backbone for any organization. All cases of collaboration, communication is very important, especially when you have many departments and you need to build that relationship across the department. Department managers need to be positive and collaborative. So it could be that the project that is run is for the company and not all departments are responsible. One department is responsible, but you need the collaborative efforts of all the departments. At that time, the individual department managers have a role to play. They need to be positive, have fun activities and celebrate any success along the way to the project end. Remember, we all need praise and recognition. So whenever you have achieved something or say you have achieved some milestones of the project, remember to celebrate the success. Of course, the current environment may not really help us, but there are different ways of how you can celebrate success. Recently, we have launched a very good program virtually where we give a thumbs up to a person when he or she has done something great. It's a virtual recognition for the work done. This is just an example. Create a portal to get regular feedback and encourage all teams to speak and give ideas to innovate, streamline, etc. So projects cannot just finish off overnight. So usually there would be a few months to complete a project. So during the project time, communication is important. Again, I said we are blessed with the internet. So there are various ways as to how we can communicate. You have common groups that can be created on whichever platform, and people can share their ideas, their views, or feedback on these platforms. Without trust, there is nothing so neat to promote an environment of psychological safety. So, trust is also very important. So, if I were to just give you all the keywords of collaboration, then that would be support, teamwork, communication, trust, motivation, inspiration. With this, you will achieve success.
Thank you, Reena. Reena, can you stop presenting? You can click on that particular. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Reena. I think what I should say is, one second. Yeah. I hope you're visible on the screen to you. Okay, no problem. No problem.
Yes, no problem.
All right. Yeah. I think as a teacher, I'm missing a wonderful colleague in our commerce and management department at Bangalore, because you were so very clear, and I was, simply taking down all the notes that you mentioned, the attitude and behavior, key to collaboration, difference between, for those who have maybe the example of cooperation and collaboration. If we can give another example of cooperation and collaboration, I think that would be great. And then we will proceed for the question and answers. Few of the participants have put forward their questions. I will ask them one by one. So one example of collaboration and cooperation.
Okay, so what I can say is, this is through my personal experience. Cooperation is where I would do if I want. I would just help. So let's say there's a project and there is somebody who is not that very good at preparing a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. Then I will cooperate just by helping. How will I collaborate? I will collaborate by giving the person better ideas as to how he can develop the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. I think, yes, that's a wonderful example that you gave, so that people can really understand what's the difference between cooperation and collaboration, giving ideas. Some of the important points that I would like to state, what you mentioned, a certain project in a company and how is this going to impact everybody. I think when we talk about a certain task in our college or at a workplace, we focus on only about how I can do it, not how we can approach that. So I think that we approach is very important. That is what is collaboration all about. Thank you, Reena. I think, are you missing teaching before I go on to the other question?
At the start, yes, I was missing. But now I think I have, I've adapted myself to the new corporate world environment. So I'm over the corporate world now. I know how, over the years, I know how it works.
Okay. This is actually the question to be asked at the end, last, but I'm asking you right now. Working for corporates, are you happy? This is actually the last question, but I'm asking you right away.
See, there are various ways as to how you view it. Okay, it all depends on your role. Okay. As I'm on a senior business analyst role. This role, I have to be on my toes all the time.
Okay.
I'm more into cost controlling, where every department, I have a certain number of departments for whom I'm responsible. So I will have a lot of queries, a lot of things, a lot of budget related questions, spend related questions, but I enjoy what I'm doing. So if I start moaning and saying, no, I have too much to do, then forever I will be moaning. I think it's acceptance, which is important. If you do not like, then just go out. You go and do what you like. So I should say I'm happy where I am.
Okay. I think I'm just connecting to what you said. Just because, you say that you have this much of work, so many people rely on the task that you are going to do,
Yes.
the cost cutting and all of that. Is it that feel that you are important for the organization that makes you happy, or it's just the environment, the people that you work with are also brilliant. They are all collaborative, happy, contribute ideas.
I should say it's my individual happiness because, with the current situation,
Yeah.
there is no job security anyway.
Yes.
So I cannot really say, okay, I'm very important to my company. My company can send me out tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it is our individual way of looking at it.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Reena. Very well answered. This is a question from Dr. Raghavendra from Purna Prajna College in Udupi. She says, are there any important qualities required for collaboration? You did mention a few, but I think if you can elaborate on this, important qualities in a person, who would want to collaborate, anything.
Okay. The person needs to be open-minded.
All right.
Forget about the individual, individual thinking.
Okay.
Accept ideas.
Yeah.
Give ideas.
Yeah.
Accept your own indifferences. Like maybe you're giving an idea, but that might not be really acceptable by others. In the sense, they might find it silly. It's
Okay.
fine. So you have an opportunity. You also need to listen. So these can all be the qualities which are required for collaboration.
Okay. Wonderful, Reena. I think that was beautiful. Even Raghavendra sir will be very happy. This is another question from Dr. Purushottam. I would rephrase this question. His question is very simple. How collaboration can improve productivity? Down one side, I will add a few points in the sense like, is collaboration required only for the betterment of the corporates, enhancing the profits, or is it for, that gelling together as a team and enjoying the place that you work?
Yeah.
A bigger picture of collaboration. Is it only about productivity or much more?
No, I should say it is much more. Yeah. So let's take your very own example. If you do not collaborate together in the department, I don't think your department will achieve the common goal or objective. Yeah.
Correct.
So it works that way that, of course, it will improve productivity because you see, people also get importance. When people get importance, they speak up. Yeah. When they get praise and recognition in a group, when somebody says, wow, your idea is really great, then you feel recognized. So you, in turn, it improves your motivation level to do more.
Okay. Thank you, Reena. I think that was very specific and very clear. So it is much more, not just about the productivity of an organization. I will collaborate two questions here since we are talking about collaboration. This is a question from Madam Reema. She is from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, and also Dr. Maria. She is from Honnavar. Madam Reema says, some people in a team are of mindset, why should we learn more? So how to work with them? That is one. And some people, as Madam Maria says, who don't want to collaborate. When you have such team members, how do you bring them on the same page? One who are not ready to learn and one who are not ready to, collaborate with others.
Yeah. So I agree with you all. It's not a perfect world. You always have people who are not interested, who do not want to do. Yeah. One is, I think if such people, they are really not interested, then I feel they should walk out. That's their personal choice. Yeah. If they do not, then the general rule in any place, let it be a corporate world or your very own department, is you have to. That's the rule, that you have to collaborate. The others can inspire. So maybe with your inspiration, they are enlightened to do more.
Okay. I think That suits both the questions, I believe. Why I combined those two questions is Dr. Sudha's observation. Dr. Sudha is from Besant Women's College. She says, collaboration is very good and meaningful, but you did mention competition and mindset of survival of the fittest and vested interest rules the roost in most of the organization. People may say, if I give an idea, Reena would benefit. Reena would say behind closed doors, yes, Manoj, you have done very well. That's a wonderful idea. As you said, praise giving and all, everything. But when it comes in the open, people will understand that it is Reena's idea, not my idea. So Manoj will stand back and say, why should I? So what do you have to say on that? Competition and such mindset.
In this, say, as you said, let me take the example of a project. So maybe the project manager will gain the recognition. Now, it is the project manager who has to pass on the praise or the recognition to the ones who have helped them. Like when it is a big corporate world, it's not possible to go and name every person who has contributed their idea to its success. Remember, we all are working in a team, the we concept, WE, it's not the I concept. It's okay, the manager gets the recognition, but it's an important task on the for the manager to do that. He passes on the recognition. I gave you an example how we are doing it. There could be different ways as to how you can praise and recognize people who have contributed towards your area of responsibility.
Okay. Yes. But do you have a concept called, we have something called as, I have just heard, in Bangalore and all, corporates work as, there is something called as allowance for project, or, they celebrate after the project is done. Any kind of incentive for the team where they, that recognition is given in the team that you are responsible.
Yeah, in a corporate world, it is very common. Okay, so whenever there is something that the team has achieved, there are various ways. It could be that the team goes out for a lunch or dinner. It could be that you give out some sort of vouchers as recognition, some certificate. Now, of the recent, it's a virtual world. So what's happening is whenever something has been recognized, it's being displayed on screens.
Just like
the place I work,
it's
like, yes, something like that. So the place I work, it's we are more in number, and more or less we occupy the whole building. So we have screens on every floor on corridors. So this displays maybe the picture of the person and saying what she or he has done to help us out.
Okay. So that's a recognition that you all show that, the entire team of employees come to know who is really,
because it is not always the monetary gain. Let us remember this. Monetary gain is important, but it's not always the monetary gain. The non-monetary part also is important. People need praise, recognition, I feel, more than money at times.
Yes, I think the third and the fourth stage of Abraham Maslow's theory of motivation. Thank you, Reena. There's another question from Dr. Jomon from SDM College, PG department. He says, is there any relevance of collaboration for modern organization which you can tie up or associated with stress management?
Okay. There's one side of the organization which is stress. Okay. So when I say projects, the word project might sound good, but there is stress. There's a lot of stress associated with it. So what we are doing internally in our organization is we are having some drop-in sessions. Drop-in sessions to help people how to manage their stress. So there is an announcement going out that, next week, this time we have a drop-in session, please join. So people, whoever is interested comes there, and that's where we have a topic for discussion. There is something which is causing stress. So that's a point where we discuss. It's not like a planned session. Maybe there's a moderator, but it's a drop-in where people are given an opportunity to bring, to speak out the stress that they are facing.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, because I think when we have some wonderful, collaborators with you who sit along with you, work with you. I think it's a beautiful place. Money is not really important. The people you work becomes important. Good. We have a question from Dr. Pratibha Patel. She's also from SDM PG department here, Bangalore. She says, you mentioned about the memorandum of collaboration. That was actually a beautiful thought, a new thought for large number of people, including myself. What do you think should be the contents of MOC? Because you heard about MOA, MOC. Because roles are not definitive, she says. Is it giving an idea? You are going to help me out in the technical part. How do you identify a certain role in that? And it is very subjective and it cannot be really monitored.
Yeah. So here, memorandum of collaboration is something that you draft depending upon what you want to achieve. Okay. It cannot be like for a very simple thing, you will do this, you will do that, but it's on a little bit of higher note. It's more or less, you can say, some terms and conditions which have to be accepted in order to work on the project. So how each one will collaborate in order to achieve the common goal or objective.
Okay. I think, thank you. I think you have made the point. So possibly, I think there are a large number of teachers who have joined from SDM PG department. So definitely they will have an MOC at the end of this session. Definitely. Thank you, Reena, for that answer. This is a question from Madam Meenakshi from Chandigarh. She says, if collaboration has to succeed, the face of that success is always a leader. So what do you think should be the quality so that all his teammates collaborate with him? Leader should have certain skills.
Yes. So I agree with that. The leader plays a very important role. The leader is the one who will give direction to the others. Correct. So when too many, it is also said that too many cooks spoil the dish. So that's the time when the leader will take a role where he or she will start guiding the team, giving some certain directions. Yeah, because when you say collaboration, of course, you will have a lot of people speaking. There needs to be someone who needs to harmonize the talk and come to a common understanding. Yeah, the leader, yes, I agree. There's a bigger role or bigger responsibility on the shoulders of the leader here.
Okay. So you say collaboration is the key to success in the organization, happiness in the organization?
Yes.
No, because I already got a reply from Madam Deepa. She's from SDM PG department, and they say for sure, for whatever I said, they are going to have a MOC at the end of this session among all the colleagues who have joined in and heard you. Reena, how is the situation right now in the the Middle East right now? Because we see a lot of Indians coming back. Do you think the situation will improve? And if yes, how much time do you think, your analysis, what do you see, being in corporate right now?
Yeah. So as you all know, the situation in Middle East is not that great for a number of reasons. Yes, COVID being one. With the COVID, what has happened is the oil prices have dropped. Yeah, there is no demand for oil across the world, and these Middle East countries, mainly they are producers of oil. So as a result, what has happened is some way or the other way, most of the companies in the Middle East are related to oil and gas sector. So a lot of projects have been placed on hold or they have been postponed. So this is the reason you see a lot of people coming back. At the same time, for those organizations or those companies which are able to survive, there is this cost cutting that is going on. Cost cutting, or in other words, I can say cost saving, cost optimization. This is the call given by the government to all the companies around. So in order to have a cost optimization, every company has looked into its manpower, headcount, along with its activities. So when there's a reduction, they have done a reduction on all headcount, manpower, and its activities. So if I'm not doing a project X, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 people on the project. I don't need them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it is. The economics says that maybe 2021 Q2, the oil prices might start rising again. Until then, it could be a plus and minus. You might see an increase, but then again, it is decreasing.
We are already worried. You say price rise, the crude prices may increase. Already we have, I think, touched 82 or 83 here for a liter of petrol here.
Yes,
So
yes.
that was because of the increase in the, central excise duty that was done when the prices were low. So government has not changed it. So that's the reason why because the crude oil price has gone up, the excise duty which was increased remained the same. So automatically the price has gone up. So Q2 21, you say things should be normal. You say
not normal. It might not exactly normal, but we start getting into a phase where it might be normal.
Okay. Reena, can you, because you mentioned in your presentation one word, that is killing all relationship, and that is 3-letter word called ego. Any tips how to keep that aside?
Yes. Now, this is something I have seen for many years. You will always have people around you who have their own ego. Okay.
Yeah.
So my advice is, when you're working in a team, you will have to forget the 3-letter word ego.
Okay.
You have to keep it aside. Yeah.
Okay.
When it's a team, we all are one. We need to work with the oneness, then only we can collaborate. If I start thinking, okay, I have this particular degree from my education and this is my experience, so this is what I'm saying and this is how it should be, no. Because with my personal experience, I'm seeing the youngsters who are getting into the oil industry now, I should say they are much more smarter. Why? They have, because when they have started working itself, they have seen a lot of things which are different, yeah, than us.
Yeah.
We have just seen like what has changed, but they are born with it, you can say. The technology is something which is really supporting them. So we have to accept that, okay, the younger generation is smarter than us also. So this ego thing, I think you have to just forget it while working in a team.
But I think easier saying than doing.
Yes.
And don't you think you mentioned that younger generation definitely are ahead? They are born with technology. But don't you think this is a challenge for the millennials like us? Just to be on your toes and keep up with such people so that we stand competitive even today.
I'll give you a very simple example as to how I use my laptop. Okay. At office, it was a different environment for me. I have two screens. It's a desktop. So from March onwards, we are working from home and I'm using my laptop and I use my mouse. Okay. And I have seen the new youngsters, they do not use the mouse. They are so quick on the keyboard, the way they are going, because being in the finance department, we work a lot on Excel sheets.
Correct.
The way they change from one Excel sheet to the other, the way they copy the information, the way they paste, the way they do insert formulas, I'm surprised. So we have some Excel clinics which are happening virtually now. So what I'm doing personally, I'm trying to learn from them. And one young person, who has just joined our organization, gave me an idea. Like, try, you decide for yourself today 5 shortcuts I will do only through the keyboard. I will not use my mouse.
Yeah, that's a good
an
one.
Advice given by a new person, So I was thinking, wow, yeah, that's great what she's saying. That's the only way I can get out from the mouse.
Correct. I think that's another beautiful takeaway from this session. Learn 5 new things and implement it during the day. Just like learn 5 new words and improve your English language. I think that's a wonderful takeaway. We have a few more questions, Reena. See, basically, as I know, as a classmate, you wanted to become a teacher. And I thought you would become a passionate teacher then. And you did teach for 2 years or 3 years at St. Agnes, I remember. Now, bringing your corporate experience to classroom, how do you think a teacher can collaborate, with the students to bring the best out of them? Anything that you try to connect your corporate with the classroom environment?
For me, I think collaboration is not only for corporate world. Okay, of course, you have projects that's more, but I think you need collaboration in your classroom.
Okay.
Let's take a simple example that you have to present something. Say it could be your assembly or something like that, where you need everyone in your class to participate. So you are responsible. So you as a teacher need to play the role of a leader. Okay. You need to define what is that we want to achieve. Okay, we want to put up a dance show or a dance drama. So that's the objective. What do we want to convey through the dance drama? What is the message? Then I think when one person starts to speak and comes up with ideas, the others would collaborate and give in their ideas as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so collaboration for me is required everywhere. It can, even in your individual homes. You need collaboration. You can't say, okay, I'm the father, I'm the mother, I will do everything that the way I want. No, you need a collaboration of the family to achieve certain things.
Okay. No, I remember, I go back to 1999, and that was an event called Moments, if you remember, in our postgraduate interdepartmental festival. And our commerce department was putting up a dance performance. I think you were also a team, Sapna was also a team. And you told me to come and dance. I was one who was never interested in dance, and even today I did not learn. But you said at least you can dance from one corner of the stage and go to the other corner of the stage. Your teamwork is in. That is what you said. I still remember that. And I did that. And I'm very happy when I see that picture again and again, I coming in between and moving that side. Thank you, Reena. I think you're just taking it to the corporate world. This is a question from that question which I asked about teacher collaborating with students was of Madam Akshata. This is a question from Madam Vilma. She says, is collaboration better than association? Because words, so meaning of the words important. Collaboration and association.
I don't know whether she refers when we say association as an organization. Like I can say that in corporate world, we do not have associations, especially outside India. There is nothing like if you mean.
Oh, you mean to say trade association? I don't think she's talking about anything to do with trade. Association of people.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, collaboration is better than association. It's a better word, right? It's what you say, it's a more meaningful word than association. It's not just associating, but it is more of collaborating. Associating is for me, okay, you will just get adjusted. Okay. All we have to do, okay, we will do. No, collaboration is where you are raising your hand, giving your ideas.
Okay. But you did mention giving ideas are all. What happens when Reena gives an idea in a team and her idea is not accepted?
Yes, you can you can feel bad, which is fine. But maybe someone has built upon your idea in a different way. This also can happen. It could have made others think. So what we say in corporate world, whenever people have questions, we say, please ask questions. There is nothing like a silly question. Okay. So at times when you have to ask some question, you might think, oh, this may be silly. Should I ask or no? In corporate, we say there is no word silly. Same way, if you have ideas, you will give. If it's not accepted, it's fine. It could have built or led to something else.
All right. Thank you, Reena. I think that comes to the end of the Q&As. There is, I'll just check. Yes. So, thank you, Reena, for answering all those queries of our participants. And it did clarify a lot of things, a lot of takeaways, I should say. So, only way is, if you have the entire department participating and listening to you, I think they would have very well understood the concept of collaboration and how it will benefit not only the organization, but also the individual and his or her family members. That is the power. So, Reena, can you give your final thoughts to all our participants who have joined in?
Before I conclude, I would like to thank Manoj for giving me this opportunity to speak. With this virtual world now, I could get connected with you all. So I would thank you all for listening to me. I have tried to share my experience. It's been many years since I'm working in the corporate world, so I have done my best to share my experience. Every day is a new learning for me. Every day I learn something new.
Yeah.
This is my personal take. But on collaboration, what I can tell you all is that you teachers and lecturers, you are doing a wonderful job. You all are preparing our youngsters to enter into the corporate world. Please give them all that is required, all the guidance, all the information, the knowledge that is required. When it comes to collaboration, yes, they really need to understand before they enter into the corporate world what this collaboration is all about. So this is what I can say, and how you can do it to a great extent. You can do it by practicing within your own departments.
Okay.
You show as an example to the others how things can work out if you collaborate. So these little things, I think the students would learn from these little things, and this would help them to face the challenges of the corporate world. Yeah, so this is what I would say as a concluding note to you all.
All right. I think, thank you, Reena. I should say on behalf of my college, my colleagues, all the teacher participants, students, chartered accountants who heard you, from everyone's behalf, a big thank you to you for being such a lovely person who shared, wonderful resources. Is it possible to share this slide so that I can share it with all the participants, if it is possible?
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
that's fine.
So on behalf of all the participants who have gathered, once again, a big thank you, Reena, for joining us and giving your precious time. I know it's time for you to, get ready and go to work, because it's hardly 9:30. It's 8:30 right now in Qatar.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Reena. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Yeah,
thank you, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, dear participants, I am extremely sorry because there was some technical error. Still, I can see some messages in our group saying that a few people could not join. We have to definitely sort that out, because I'm not very sure what's the reason for this technical error. It was not in our hands, because those who joined in the initial part of the session, we have the video recorded, but it requires little editing. Almost yesterday's all three keynote, first session and second session editing work is done. So I will share it in the group today. Whereas for today's sessions, maybe as soon as this session part editing work is done, so that we can combine and present it to those who could not attend this particular session. I'm extremely sorry. That was a technical error. And even though you wanted to join, nothing would appear in our screen to admit you. So I have to say sorry for that. So maybe in the evening, it should be sorted out. I will be sharing the link a little early so that everyone joins before the speaker could really take up a session. We have a beautiful session coming up at 4 o'clock today in the evening. And I request everyone to please join at least by 3:50, so that our speaker, Ms. Raina De Mello, clinical psychologist from Narayan Health, Bengaluru, she is comfortable, and everyone is in the group, and you can ask a lot of questions. Because the idea of this international webcon is the things, that you can take away and you can implement it in your day-to-day lives for your betterment and the betterment of the institution or organization that you're working for. So once again, on behalf of all the organizers, thank you very much. We will join back again at around 3:50 sharp. So thank you, all the participants.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye, Reena. Thank you.
Bye-bye.